3 Jewels, Suction Crushing Technique. This move is wild, because it's pulled off by puppets 6, 7, and 8 from Chiyo's legendary Chikamatsu Collection. These 3 puppets line up in a triangle, and once Chiyo triggers the seals marked Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, things go crazy. A massive whirlwind bursts out, absolutely dragging everything into the center like a vacuum on steroids. Anything caught inside gets totally crushed with insane force and then blasted out the back like it never existed. It's made to wipe out enemies, fast and brutally clean. In terms of power, this technique's super effective in big fights, especially when you're up against multiple enemies at once. But yeah, it's not flawless. If the suction pulls in too much or gets overloaded, the puppets can't hold up, they're left totally exposed. We actually saw that happen when Sasori dropped a ridiculous swarm of his own puppets and completely tore through the formation. Now everyone, I just wanted to take a moment to give a huge shout out to all of you, my incredible supporters. Your love and encouragement means so much to me. Every like, comment, and share inspires me to keep creating and improving my content. Thank you for being a part of this journey with me. Let's continue to grow together and make amazing memories. You all rock. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you all so much. Tiger Vision Staring Bullet. This jutsu is absolutely badass and super specialized. It takes crazy focus and insane drawing skill to pull it off. Sai used this move during the 4th Great Ninja War, and he literally trapped one of the 7 ninja swordsmen of the mist inside his own artwork. The process is wild. The user draws a massive tiger, and once it's done, that thing literally comes to life, jumping right out of the scroll. Still linked to the paper, the tiger goes straight for the target, grabs them with its claws and fangs, and drags them back into the scroll, locking them inside the drawing like a damn prison. But because the illustration is so huge, it takes a solid chunk of time to finish, so the user has to stay fully focused and be protected while they work. One wrong move, and they're done for. In the anime, Danzo said that to max out this jutsu's power, Sai had to actually use his emotions. When the user loses control and gets overwhelmed by dark feelings, their eyes turn pitch black, the pupils glow red, and some creepy black fluid starts leaking from their eyes and mouth. Sai had a hard time controlling that side at first because of his emotion-suppressing root training. But after seeing Rock Lee's absolute determination to protect his friends and remembering his own bond with Team Kakashi, he finally pushed through and mastered it. Fire Sealing Method. This jutsu is honestly pretty interesting. It lets the user literally pull in and trap any fire release attack nearby straight into an empty space inside a sealing scroll. Yeah, that's the same technique Jiraiya used back in the day. It can absorb any kind of fire, no matter how intense, and keeps it completely sealed inside. The flames stay frozen in their original state, waiting until the user decides to break the seal and unleash that same fire all over again. Normally, fire release jutsu in Naruto are pretty easy to counter. You can block them, dodge them, or just splash some water over them. But Amaterasu is a different beast. Those black flames can't be put out by anything. Not water, not wind, nothing. They just burn forever. So when Jiraiya went up against Itachi's Amaterasu, he flexed this technique to literally suck up those unstoppable flames and seal them away for good. There's also another move that works kind of like this one, but that version's used by Sai. Evil Sealing Method. This technique is straight up intense. It's kind of like Orochimaru's 5 elements seal, but instead of messing up the chakra flow, it's designed to control and suppress the cursed energy itself. Kakashi used this move on Sasuke to hold back the cursed seal of heaven, stopping that dark power from spreading through his body and taking over. To pull this off, Kakashi had to literally use his own blood. He wrote long lines of sealing symbols all over Sasuke, stretching from the cursed mark out across the area. When the jutsu kicked in, those bloody markings started to glow and close in, forming chains of chakra that locked around the cursed seal. It's brutal to go through, super painful, and the person receiving it can totally pass out from the shock. But here's the catch. The evil sealing method doesn't remove the curse. It only holds it down. How well it works depends completely on the willpower of the person it's cast on. If they want it to work, it'll keep that curse locked away as much as possible, but if they crave the cursed power deep down, the seal can't stop it from breaking free. That's why, even after Kakashi used it on Sasuke, he pushed him to train like crazy, teaching him the Chidori so he wouldn't depend on Orochimaru's dark energy. Still, it wasn't enough. Sasuke eventually gave in and chose to embrace the cursed seal's power. In the years that followed, the evil seal stayed on his body, but it was basically dead. It had no reason to work anymore. When Sasuke finally got the cursed seal of heaven removed for good, the evil sealing mark vanished along with it. 5 Elements Seal. This sealing jutsu is seriously nasty. During the Chunin exams, Naruto tried to tap into Kurama's chakra while fighting Orochimaru in the Forest of Death. That's when the 8 trigram seal on his stomach became fully visible, and Orochimaru decided to mess with it. Channeling his chakra into the 5 fingers of one hand, Orochimaru slammed his palm right onto Naruto's stomach, imprinting the 5 element seal on top of the existing 4 symbols seal. Now here's the crazy part. The 4 symbols seal is an even numbered seal, while the 5 element seal is odd numbered. When you stack an odd seal over an even one, it totally messes up the balance. The result? Pure chaos in the chakra flow. For Naruto, this was brutal. The 5 element seal completely disrupted the link between him and Kurama, blocking him from accessing that insane 9 tails chakra. On top of that, it threw his own chakra out of sync, making it hard for him to even fight properly. Right after getting hit with it, Naruto literally blacked out on the spot. Later on, Jiraiya came through and removed the 5 element seal, restoring the perfect balance between the 2 sealing layers. Once that was done, Naruto's chakra finally flowed freely again, and he could once more call on Kurama's power without getting jammed up by Orochimaru's trick. 8 trigrams, sealing style. This is easily one of the most iconic sealing techniques in the entire Naruto world, a literal masterpiece of Fuinjutsu engineering. The 8 trigram sealing style is actually built on top of the 4 symbol seal. The 4 symbol seal by itself already lets the user trap anything, from enemies to full-blown tailed beasts, inside an object or even inside another person. That's the same seal you saw on Minato's stomach when he locked away half of the 9 tails inside himself. But when you stack 2 4 symbol seals on top of each other, you get something far stronger, the 8 trigram sealing style. That's the exact seal placed on Naruto's stomach. During the night of the 9 tails attack, even while half dead from battle, Minato still pulled off this insane jutsu. He layered 2 4 symbol seals together, forming the 8 trigram seal to completely contain Kurama's massive chakra inside his newborn son, Naruto Uzumaki. Now, here's the genius part. Minato didn't line the 2 seals up perfectly. He intentionally left them a bit misaligned, so that a small portion of Kurama's chakra could leak through and mix with Naruto's own. That little tweak gave Naruto boosted healing, massive stamina, and access to the 9 tails power whenever he needed it. On Naruto's body, the seal shows up as a circular pattern on his stomach. It glows brighter and more visible whenever he taps into Kurama's chakra. But that power came with real danger. Overusing it could totally mess up his body and mind, letting the tailed beast's hatred corrupt him from the inside out. Knowing this, Minato sealed a fragment of both his and Kushina's chakra inside the seal, acting as a backup system. Their spirits could literally appear from within the seal during life or death moments to reinforce it or protect Naruto when he lost control. Another key part of this jutsu, literally, is the key to the seal, a special inscription stored on the Toad Scroll Geratora, who was later entrusted to Jiraiya, Naruto's godfather. This key could either completely unseal or tighten the 8 trigram seal's power, but instead of locking it down, Jiraiya used the key to loosen the seal just enough, giving Naruto even greater access to Kurama's chakra during his training. Desert Layered Imperial Funeral Seal. This is one of Gaara's absolute craziest sealing techniques, pure desert domination. He used this move during the 4th Great Ninja War to seal away the 2nd Mizukage, who was insanely powerful and hard to put down. Here's how it works. Gaara controls a huge amount of sand, gathering it from all around and using it to completely surround his target. But this isn't some quick one-shot jutsu, it's a layered process, built step by step. Each new wave of sand stacks on top of the last, forming multiple layers that trap the enemy tighter and tighter. Every single layer is there for a reason, not just to imprison the target, but to completely shut down any chance of breaking free from the inside. As the sand keeps stacking, it all gets compressed into a massive pyramid, a structure that's literally built for strength and stability. The shape evenly spreads out pressure, making it ridiculously hard to collapse or crack. Once the pyramid's sealed shut, it becomes an unbreakable prison, locking the enemy deep inside a desert tomb with zero way out. The Totsuka Blade. The Totsuka sword is one of the most mystical and overpowered weapons in the entire Naruto universe. It's basically a spiritual blade that comes out of a sake bottle. Yeah, it doesn't even look like a normal sword. What makes this weapon so terrifyingly strong is the sealing jutsu built into it. When the sword pierces someone, it doesn't just wound them, it straight up absorbs their soul into the sake bottle, trapping them forever inside a stunning, dreamlike illusion world that feels like an eternal genjutsu. This sword's sealing power is so absolute that Itachi used it to completely wipe out Sasuke's cursed seal of heaven. When Orochimaru tried to crawl out from Sasuke's body, Itachi just stabbed him once, boom, sealed instantly into the bottle. Gone for good. Later on, Itachi used the same sword against Nagato, who was being controlled by Kabuto's impure world reincarnation. Before finishing him, Itachi told Nagato he'd seal him once and for all, meaning his soul would be trapped forever. No escape, no reincarnation, nothing. Nagato accepted it calmly, saying he'd go to where Jiraiya was waiting, though nobody really knows if that was true or just poetic. Besides its sealing magic, the Totsuka sword also hits like a monster. It can cut through basically anything, just like a normal blade, except, way stronger. We literally saw Itachi slice off 7 of Orochimaru's 8 giant snake heads in one swing, like it was nothing. The sword's power and mystery made it one of the most desired weapons in shinobi history. Zetsu even said Orochimaru spent his whole life hunting for it, but in the end, destiny decided it belonged to Itachi Uchiha. The Reaper Death Seal. The Reaper Death Seal is another insane sealing jutsu that comes straight from the Uzumaki clan. Kushina Uzumaki, the wife of the 4th Hokage Minato Namikaze, was an absolute beast with sealing techniques, and she's the one who actually taught this move to her husband. This technique is ridiculously dangerous and insanely secret. It's so top tier that even Orochimaru, a dude who basically knows every jutsu in existence, had no idea it even existed until the 3rd Hokage whipped it out. The way it works is totally wild. The user goes through a bunch of super complex hand signs to summon the death god, the Shinigami himself. When it appears, this creepy, ghostly god stands right behind the user and uses its hair to wrap around their soul, binding them completely. At first, only the summoner can see the death god. Then, after chanting a curse and revealing a sealing mark on its left arm, the Shinigami stabs its hand straight into the user's soul. From that moment on, the death god's arm can pass right through the summoner's body to grab the target's soul directly. The crazy part? The target can only see the death god when their soul is literally being ripped out. There are 2 major times in ninja history where this jutsu completely changed the game. The first one was when Minato Namikaze used it to save the hidden leaf from the Nine Tails, Kurama. He split Kurama's chakra into 2 halves, sealing the yang half inside his newborn son Naruto, and taking the yin half with him straight to the afterlife. The second legendary use was during the brutal battle between the 3rd Hokage, Hiruzen Sarutobi, and his old student Orochimaru. Even as an old man, Hiruzen went absolutely all in. He pulled out the Reaper Death Seal, combined it with Shadow Clone Jutsu, and managed to seal multiple souls at once, including the 1st and 2nd Hokage. He couldn't fully seal Orochimaru himself, but he did manage to take away his arms completely, leaving Orochimaru in endless pain and unable to perform any jutsu ever again. Later on, Orochimaru found a way to undo this crazy seal with another technique called Dead Demon Consuming Seal, Release. But the cost? It's brutal. The user has to literally cut open their own stomach, which can straight up kill them. Orochimaru, being the slippery snake he is, dodged death by transferring his soul into a new body just in time. All in all, this jutsu is hands down one of the most powerful sealing techniques in the entire Naruto series. But it's also one of the most forbidden, because the price for using it is your own life. Once you cast it, you're sealing your own fate too. Adamantine Sealing Chains. The Adamantine Sealing Chains is one of the absolute strongest and most secret techniques of the Uzumaki clan. These guys were straight up monsters when it came to sealing jutsu. Nobody, and I mean nobody, could match their level. Every Uzumaki was trained in these arts, and this technique right here is the perfect showcase of how insanely good they were at it. This jutsu lets the user create huge, glowing chakra chains that burst out from their body and spread in every direction. These chains can totally lock down and immobilize whatever they touch. Their toughness is on a whole other level. Even tailed beasts, with their ridiculous godlike power, can't break free. On top of that, the chains hold you, and at the same time, they suppress your chakra completely, making the user the perfect candidate to become a Jinchuriki. But these chains aren't just for restraining enemies. The user can also weave them together to create an insanely strong barrier, basically an unbreakable wall of chakra. Kushina Uzumaki once used this exact technique to completely trap the Nine Tails inside a set area, and that was when the beast still had both its yin and yang chakra. That's how ridiculously powerful she was. Thanks to her unreal life force and her total control over the adamantine sealing chains, Kushina was considered the perfect Jinchuriki. The Nine Tails never escaped her control. Not even once. She could shut it down completely, even inside her own mind. Before her death, Kushina left behind a part of her chakra inside her son, Naruto. Later on, when Naruto tried to tame the Nine Tails, that chakra came to life, and boom, the adamantine sealing chains appeared again, helping him suppress Kurama's rage. But this technique can also be straight-up destructive. The chains can be fired out as offensive weapons, smashing through anything in their path. Karen, another member of the Uzumaki clan, once awakened this ability and used it to totally destroy Tobi's massive wooden statue. Still, according to Orochimaru, Karen's version was way weaker. Just a small taste of what Kushina could really do. How Karen even unlocked this power is still a total mystery. The adamantine sealing chains isn't a bloodline limit, so it's not something you're born with. That means Karen had to awaken it through her own chakra or life force somehow. Phantom Dragon's 9 Consuming Seals. The Phantom Dragon's 9 Consuming Seals is straight up one of the most insane and complex sealing jutsu ever created in the ninja world. This thing was designed specifically to capture and seal the tailed beasts, literal monsters of chakra and destruction that could wipe out nations. At its core, this technique works like a dark ritual. It's not some solo move you can just pop off. It demands total coordination from multiple insanely strong ninja. During the process, Pain, the leader of the Akatsuki, summons the demonic statue of the Outer Path, that massive, nightmarish husk tied to the Sage of Six Paths himself. Each Akatsuki member then stands on one of the statue's fingers, perfectly matching the special ring they wear. Once the ritual starts, 9 massive ghost-like chakra dragons come roaring out from the statue's mouth, spiraling around the Jinchuriki, or the tailed beast itself if it's already been pulled out. These dragons slowly drag out the tailed beast's chakra, ripping it straight from the Jinchuriki's body. The process is brutal, absolutely agonizing. The host feels their very soul getting torn apart as the beast inside them is extracted piece by piece. When all 9 Akatsuki members take part, the sealing process lasts for 3 full days without a single break. Zetsu even pointed out that if fewer members join in, the whole thing takes way longer, proving just how demanding this ritual really is. Once it's finally complete, the tailed beast's energy gets sealed inside the statue, and one of its 9 eyes opens. That's the sign the sealing worked perfectly. But here's the dark catch. The Jinchuriki never survives it. Once their tailed beast is gone, their life ends instantly. That's the ultimate price of this jutsu. The Phantom Dragon's 9 Consuming Seals isn't just powerful, it's terrifying, ruthless, and absolutely meant to change the balance of the entire world. Alright, that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.